And you're welcome back to Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. Okay, so tonight, if you are moved by any of the conversations we have on the show, there are various ways that you can reach us, interact with us as well. You can send a WhatsApp to 054-998-6996, send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com, or perhaps you can just find us on social media at Sister Sister LIVE, Sister Sister Live. Like our page, send us a DM, or join the conversations that happen on our wall. Those conversations can get heated sometimes, but yes, we like it like that. So yes, these are the ways that you can reach us and be part of the conversation. Let me say hello to my sisters joining me in studio, and one joining me all the way from Berlin. Let's say hello to Claudia first. Hi Claudia, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right, can't complain. What have you been up to?
Work. They say that's what adults do, so I'm adulting.
I mean, someone should have told us that adulting would look like this.
Yeah.
It's a big trap.
It is. It's a scam.
Don't grow up.
It's a scam.
It's scam.
Yeah, seriously, do not.
It's a scam.
Ladies, good to see you though, in studio as well.
Good
Drea,
to be here.
Olivia,
Good to be
it's been a
here.
minute.
Yeah.
Looking all pink and black. What's the occasion?
Thank you.
Everything
I'm just
okay?
happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Family good?
Yes,
Family
everyone fine. Thank you. Happy to be alive and well.
fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And what about you? I know you've been busy.
Yes, I'm
What's some of the stuff
pretty
we can't
hyped.
talk about?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yet.
But I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you.
I'm excited. I'm working on some very promising brands.
Ooh.
Yes, and I love it when I'm innovating and I'm doing a little alchemy in the kitchen.
Hey.
Yes.
Alchemy.
Hey.
Alchemy. in the
Excuse
kitchen.
moi.
Yes. So I'm excited. So soon.
Hey.
Like,
She knows. She knows.
me, I'm on the sidelines there, but I'm more excited than she is.
Ah.
Yeah. Y'all wait for it. Ghana, you ain't ready yet. We'll talk about that later. But for now, I'd like to welcome, of course, our audience via radio and TV for joining us as well. We'll jump right into our first story for the evening. It says, "Good evening, sisters. My issue is very embarrassing. My wife has started abusing me verbally. We've been married for 5 years, and I know I've done what every good husband and father should do. 3 months ago, I noticed that she started keeping late nights. Even though her workplace is about 20 minutes from our home, she ends up getting home around 10 p.m. even though she closes at 5. I confronted her about it, and that's when the abuse started. She insults me at the least chance she gets. She doesn't care who's around. Once she isn't in a good mood, she insults me at the slightest opportunity. I've never seen this side of her before. I spoke to her elder sister about it, and oh my God, I regretted it. She called me all sorts of unprintable words simply because I involved a third party. I've been unhappy these past months. What should I do?" All right, what happens when the abuse is verbal? Livy? Why are you looking at me like
don't call me like I'm not here. Like I'm not
why
here.
doesn't anybody ever want to go first? I don't get it. You know? But yeah, how would you deal with verbal abuse?
That's not cool. There's nothing not nice. Like there's nothing nice about being verbally abused, especially when you are on the receiving end. You realize that, you know, your wife's pattern in terms of routine has changed, and you're asking. I mean, you deserve to ask questions, and you deserve to have answers. So, I mean, wives who go on about that thing is not cool. If you have a problem, talk to your partner about it. You don't have to be abusive about it, verbally abusive about it. But my question to him is, I mean, I can appreciate where he's coming from, and I can only imagine what he's going through. And my only question is, what does he want? You know, does he want to work on the marriage? Does he want the marriage to work? And if so, what is he ready and prepared to do to be able to have her attention, to be able to have that conversation? Clearly, it sounds as though there's somebody in the picture. Something is a bit off. It sounds as though, it could be, I stand to be corrected, that somebody is in the picture. She feels and she thinks that that person is better than you. It could be. It could also be that she's being influenced negatively. It could also be as a result of something happening over a long period of time. She's bottled it up and now she's sick of you. She doesn't want to have anything to do with you. She's very aggressive. She's done dusted. She's like, I'm not interested in whatever you have to say. To every action, there's always a reaction. And sometimes as couples, you don't know when you're hurting your partner. That's why it's very important that you don't sweep things under the carpet. And it could be intentional, it could be completely unintentional from your part. You could be completely innocent, but it doesn't mean that the person on the receiving end is not being hurt. So that's why I ask, do you want to work on the relationship? So if you want to work on the relationship, I say, if she's respecting you, it means that she's gotten to a point where she doesn't have any ounce of respect in her being for you. So do you demand respect? I don't think so. I think that it's time to earn respect. Don't put yourself out there for her to disrespect you. It's easier said than done, right? But here's the situation whereby she came home late, and I mean, you have the right. Charlie, where did you go to last night? But you know, the same question can be asked in a different way. You know, and you got her sister involved, and then pooh, World War II started. You know, so I think, right, if you do want your marriage to work, you need to start again from the basics. And it's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of patience. That is, if you are ready and willing to make it work. What do you want? You want her attention. You want to be able to communicate how you feel to her. And so far, she hasn't given you that opportunity. Okay. So she's keeping late nights. It's been 3 nights, right? You know, in our African setting, African men are not brought up to serve. Okay, so I'm going to go completely off the radar here.
Okay.
African men are not brought up to serve. Okay. So check this out. She comes home completely, it's late. Make sure food is ready. Right? Offer her food. Make sure water is ready for her to have her bath. Like, go into serving mode. I know that this is unheard of, but this is you sort of going the extra mile to get her attention to make it work. You realize that certain problems are certain things, the particular problems in most marriages. It has to do with money, sex, and communication, right? So it could be that the sex isn't great. It could be that there's money issues. So that's why I'm saying that go back to dating her. In every relationship, at some point in time, if you want it to work, one person has to be the fool. Unfortunately, so chill. Don't put yourself out there for her to disrespect you. Get into the mood of making her happy. Try to get her attention. She'll realize that there's something different about you. Something has changed. She's at work. And then you do what? You send her Momo, maybe 100 Ghana cedis. Okay. Send her Momo 100 Ghana cedis and send her a text to say, oh, babe, I haven't heard from you all day. I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing good. I'm thinking about you. You know, she'll be like,
what's happening?
Okay, what's happening? You're there, no. And then you go like, oh, you know, how is she? You want to come pick her out for lunch. She'll be doing shakara, but be persistent. You know, Saturday morning, you wake up in the morning, you order wache in bed, give it to her. It's like, at some point in time, she'll wonder, I'm being mean to you, but all you're doing is showing me love. Why? Try and get her attention. Pick her up. If she finally agrees to say, okay, this guy, let me listen to him, then you take her out, sit her down and have that conversation with her and ask her, where did I go wrong? You know, pour out your heart to her. Tell her that you didn't start off like this. Maybe you genuinely did something that you didn't know you did that hurt her, but you want to know. And if there's somebody else in the picture who's doing all of these things, crossing the boxes, making her feel like a queen, it's like you're back in the game, back in business with her. Try and get her ear and let her know that you're also like, there's no point being all macho about it. You're also a guy, you're also an emotional being, and you want this relationship to work. So she should really meet you halfway. If there's something you've done, you're sorry about it, but you would really appreciate it if she took her time. If she's unhappy about something, she should talk to you about it rather than insult you, because you're also human. And young women out there, I mean, men don't deserve to be treated like that. If you have a problem, trash it out. It's marriage. It's not you know, it's not a, it's hard work. You work on it. People who are married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they work on it. Okay, and let her know that verbal abuse, you know, is not cool. If there's something you want this relationship to work, where is she? And if she comes to you and she says, oh, she's not interested, you're this, you're this, you're that, then at least you know, and you know in your heart of hearts that at least you gave it a try. And then you can chill.
All right, Drew, what do you think?
Okay. She's lost respect for him.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously. Nobody deserves to be disrespected. Especially, in fact, no matter what you've done, you don't deserve to be disrespected, especially if you're married to the person. The adult, mature thing to do is to speak about your problems. I was with Olivia until the point where she went down the whole be good to her, treat her nicely. He's rewarding bad behavior. Why reward bad behavior? She's the one in the wrong. You started keeping late nights. He asks you, you blast him. You're talking to him by heart.
In front of people.
In front of people. He brings your older sister. You bore. Bad behavior. She's very badly behaved. Do not reward her. Absolutely not. His question is, what should he do? Okay. You brought her older sister. Obviously, you're unfair her older sister enough, which is why. So I would say, find somebody that she respects, that she holds in high regard. Speak to the person. But before you do this, evidence is key. I say this because I've been in a situation where I would go to people and say, he's talking to me this way, da, 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 da. But on the outside, because he was such an amazing, lovely, calm person, nobody would believe me. Until one day I actually recorded one of our arguments.
Oh, Lord.
And I played it to his auntie. Queen Mother, she went on her knees and held my foot.
Wow.
Because she says, this is not the child I brought up. I didn't think these words can come out of his mouth, which is why I've never believed you each time you've come. Okay. So yes, maybe on the outside, she's this amazing person. You go and tell people, they'll be like, oh, but your wife, oh, you're probably exaggerating. Oh, you probably, and you see more often than not in this society, we blame the men. The men are almost always at fault. Which is why I don't agree, because the minute he starts to reward her bad behavior,
She'll take a piss.
She's already taking a piss. She already is taking a piss. Do you get what I mean? So I would say, 1, get evidence of this bad behavior. 2, find someone that she holds in high regard. Speak to the person. Have the person speak to her. If you guys had a counselor before, maybe it's time to go to him. I know that a lot of people, I don't know how religious they are, but a lot of people respect their pastors and religious people. If that's worth a try, maybe that's what he should do. But madam, behave yourself.
No, I like the way you ended. See, Claudia and I are laughing. Claudia, talk to me.
Dre has said it all, basically all that I wanted to say, so I wouldn't want to rehash. But I think fundamentally we need to call it what it is. It's domestic abuse.
It is.
And the first rule of domestic abuse, you don't coddle an abuser. You don't reason with an abuser. You don't try to rationalize abuse. You call it what it is. So like Drea said, don't try to reward the bad behavior by being the good guy. It's clear something is irritating her. It's clear she doesn't want to talk about it. She's taking the disrespectful route, and nothing, and I repeat, nothing in a relationship, even between enemies, justifies abuse. So it's domestic abuse, and I would approach it as such in a very objective way and call it as it is. It's verbal, it's not physical, but it hurts. It hurts your emotion. It starts to hurt your self-esteem, and it gets deeper. And I don't see how he's going to actually cook a meal for her and be nice to her when she's being on the assault side. So I wouldn't even advise going to counseling together. So first of all, she didn't like you reporting her to her sister. So why don't you then talk to a third party about what is going on in the marriage? And also evidence. I read authoritatively somewhere that when some of these things are happening, sometimes you have to bring someone in the home to witness it firsthand. And also get evidence when you are reporting it to a third party. And again, after that, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be in this relationship or not? And for me, I doubt I would want to be there. Mm-hmm. But at some point, you'd have to issue an ultimatum. If this doesn't stop, I'm going. And see if that will even change anything. The thought of you leaving her, sometimes she feels, okay, I'm doing something bad, but maybe if I go on the offensive, it will scare him and he'll be quiet and I can get to do the bad things and still be with him. So maybe the threat of leaving might actually cause her to change. So you've talked to her, maybe you've tried counseling, it's not working, she doesn't want to talk to anybody, she's still being on her bad behavior. Find your way out because it's abuse. And most of the time, abusive behavior is deep and doesn't go away after one session of counseling or 2 sessions of counseling. It's going to take time. So 2 things, whether you are ready to wait for her to change and do the work with an expert, if she doesn't want family or friends, but that is incumbent on her agreeing to even work on it or to talk to someone. So you have to go through the steps and see what works for you. But for me, it's domestic abuse, treat it as such, talk to a third party, get an expert to talk to her. If she doesn't want to work on it, away bus.
I have questions because they're saying they've been married for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the abuse only started 3 months ago.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Something must have triggered
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying, Sam.
What changed?
Something changed. And she doesn't want to talk about it. She's very upset about it. So that's why I think that little tiny steps, right? Women get all defensive and very upset that because you can't physically fight. Your immediate reaction is to verbally abuse, right? And she knows he won't hit her, so she's fighting by verbally abusing, and we don't know what brought up all of this to start with, because it's like everything. It's not like she's a chronic abuser, because this just came up and it's been 3 months. So the question is, what made it come up?
Okay.
You know, so having said that, I'm not condoning abuse, so I'm just trying to find ways to get her to talk about it. And she got upset when he went to tell her sister about it. She got upset when he went to tell her sister about it. It means that she doesn't want people knowing about it. She's almost like indirectly telling him that, work on your stuff. There's probably something about you that we need to talk about, but I'm so mad I don't want to talk about it. So I'm just trying to use the love approach. Okay, maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe
with kindness kind
yes,
of thing.
kind of, because what you also don't want to do is to make it easy for her to go out there. It's like, don't give her a reason to say, I got mad at you and we are fighting. Like, make an effort to make it work. If you do all that and it doesn't work, then
Please, my hand is up.
I don't know. I'm still not quick to say, oh, divorce.
Please.
Or
No, okay,
like
so, okay.
maybe I'm not like a
Okay,
You see what
so
I mean?
no, I'm not quick to say divorce either. But you see, you know how I ended? I said, Madam, behave yourself. These are the people who give women a bad name.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Women are known to not be able to. And a woman will go into a mood. No, not all women will go into a mood. It is bad behavior. If he has done something to upset you, open your mouth. Communicate. You loved him enough to marry him 5 years ago. If indeed he did something 3 months ago, you've been together for 5 years. Oya kakaya and kawachiwari.
Long time.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
So if he's done something to you, please open your mouth and speak. Yeah. But this cold shoulder, you're not even doing cold shoulder.
That's
Yeah, ask him.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
That's not right.
Are you alright? If he was your brother, Charlie, no. Let's not condone bad behavior. No.
Yeah.
At all.
No. It is abuse. She needs to stop.
All right, Claudia.
That's it.
How does he get her to stop though?
Like I said, to get her to communicate, she doesn't like talking to family or friends. It's clear. That's why she got upset that she talked to her sister. That's what I'm saying. They should bring a third person that she respects and is ready to talk to. So she's established she doesn't want to talk to the man. She's established she doesn't want to talk to family. So now it's only a third person that can resort. And what if she doesn't even want to talk to the third party? What do you do to this woman? You can't live your life trying to change bad behavior. And it's 3 months. You've been going through this for 3 months.
Mental health, mental health, people are dying young for things. Charlie.
I don't know how you ladies feel about
Charlie
abuse, but it's very
it's sad. It's crazy.
Mental abuse is actually more painful than physical, because you see, the thing with physical is the pain goes away, but words play back in your mind forever and a half. Look, I can remember things that people said to me 10, 15, 20 years ago, good and bad. Do you understand what I mean? So why are you degrading and demeaning your husband? Like, Charlie,
totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Yeah, so my guy, I mean, we do wish you the best of luck with that. Let me read a couple of messages. Dufie says, please do a self-assessment. You might have wronged her in some way or the other, or it could be that you're not performing as well as you used to. Address the issue by working on where you fall short. May the Lord be with you. Ifwa says, your wife has found herself a sex machine, so she thinks you are now useless. Start your investigations now. Kofi says, this is simple. If she doesn't respect you as a partner, please leave. Your mental health is very important, and no one deserves a disrespectful partner. You can't fix this. She has lost respect for you, and I don't think she'll ever respect you again. For your own sanity, move on and leave her to her demons. Abdul says, when you close from work, drive to a workplace and wait for her to finish up her day's work, so that you both can cruise home. Try and be closer to her. If she's cheating on you, you'll unmask the truth. Fighting and arguing with her without any scintilla, is that how it's pronounced? I've never heard that word. Scintilla of evidence would be lost. Will be a lost battle.
Never heard it.
Yeah, English lesson. Choose wisely. Lose the battle, not the war. Look at the bigger picture. Lauren says, she's having an affair. The moment a woman can disrespect you as her husband in a manner described as if you were her houseboy, then you're in for trouble. I would suggest you take the issue to her parents for redress. Don't allow her to demean you. Neve says, I wouldn't be here and act like I know exactly what you're going through or why your wife is keeping late. I just don't even care about her. All I'm concerned about is your mental health and your peace of mind. Personally, I don't know why you're still glued in there. Take a break from this chaos. It's for your own good. And finally, Francis says, please, the story is incomplete. Let us know what you did to trigger this attitude of your wife. There's a cost to everything because there's no smoke without fire. We'll go for a break. When we